The Grow My Cleaning Company podcast helps owners of cleaning companies just like you to grow your company and yourself so you can make more money and finally get the time and money freedom that probably got you into this business. Discover how to automate and create systems that allow you to grow like crazy without losing control. If you dig the show and want to show some love, subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes. It really helps. Enjoy the show.
All right, Cleaning Nation, we are here at the event. I'm Lindsay, here with Jared. We are in person, like actually both together.
Correct.
We're actually here at the bar. We're not drinking though. Bar's not even open yet. So today we just wanted to do like a quick little behind the scenes kind of podcast on what we do at these events and like what we see people taking away from them, what our clients go through, like I guess through our eyes kind of. So Jared, you're really good at asking questions. So sure. I think I'm going to let you ask, like, what do you think? I guess I could ask questions too. Like, what do you see the most beneficial thing about these events for our clients? Like, what's the number one thing? Like, people come from all around the nation, sometimes different countries, like you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that there is, when it comes to growing a business, it's either like you need to make mistakes and then learn from those mistakes, and then you become like wiser. And then as you become wiser, you become braver, and you can start to grow and become an entrepreneur. So that's kind of like how it works. Like nobody's going to just perfect shoot their way to the perfect business. But if you are in something like this, it was like this event that has a bunch of owners of cleaning companies with someone who's done what you want to do, kind of at the helm of the ship, you can learn from other people's mistakes of what people are done that doesn't work or what people are currently doing that is working. And it allows you to kind of bypass that initial stage of like, you just need to screw up a ton of times before you figure it out, or you can just follow someone who knows what they're doing and kind of come across that. And so for me, like when I watch a room full of people who are all very in a similar position, but there's also a line, like there's people who are, beginning parts of their cleaning company, and there's people who've done really well with their cleaning company. And you get to see people connect, kind of like the Congo line of like just kind of touching the person that's in front of them to be able to get what it is that the next step is, because it can be very difficult. If you're just starting out and you're listening to a podcast that's all about, what you do with your first $1 million, it doesn't connect with you. But if you're able to reach out and say, hey, I'm just starting out, what's the next 6 months of my life look like? Then you have that advantage, and you can avoid so much confusion. And I think that's where a lot of people just get stuck. It's just like this confusion of like, I don't know what my next step is.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what my next step is. And I also see people like getting ideas off of other people a lot too. Like not only just being like, what is the next step, but people like, for example, was that yesterday you were giving a talk and there was a question about the software we use, Pipeline Pro, which we're not sponsored by or anything. We just utilize it. But there's a common problem we have with not a problem, just a situation that arises with how we set up the hiring funnel. And you pointed out that we don't really have an official way of doing it. So we got everyone's opinions.
Correct.
On the best way to do it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like the Indeed, it's essentially where we run all of our stuff from. Like we don't control what their rules are. And so they can change and they can decide what they like or what they don't like or what ads they're going to promote or not. And so it was super helpful. And we carved time out in our event to just say, hey, owners of cleaning companies, who's getting the best results? And people are able to say, well, this is what I do. This is what I do. This is our open rate. This is our show rate. Someone else can say, well, I do something similar, but I do it this way. And then we can cross compare data. And then that's how we get what we then can coach as the best data. But that is always changing. There's always these things, like there's no like perfect, evergreen strategy that can be used. And so these events keep us, I feel like, learning. Even as us as coaches, we come to these things and get to see what the boots on the ground are doing and what is not working and what is working. And then we kind of incorporate that in what we're doing. And so it's really a mutual kind of relationship that we have in that as well.
Yeah. It's not all just our team teaching like, hey, let's sit down and listen to me. It's very collaborative is the word I was looking for. Yeah. And I also like with clients, they can sit down with you and there's a difference between going on a Zoom call like this and showing someone, well, you should set up your funnel like this, you should do this, but you actually take their computer, sit down, and figure stuff out right there, like in front of them, which is huge. I mean, that's just being in person is a big deal, I think.
Yeah. I think that when you're on Zoom with people, like if you're ever in a program that is on Zoom or you're Zooming someone, you always feel like you're on borrowed time.
Yes.
Like you're using, like, I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste, you're kind of on this borrowed time. And no, that's not always true. There's just this thing in the back of our mind that kind of feels that way. But when you're in person and you're both there and you both know lunch is at 12 and it's 10, like you don't feel pressure to be like, let me just use a little bit of your time. It's like, dude, I'm just sitting here. Like, I'm not going anywhere. You literally have my full attention. Like, let's do this, And so it feels so much more, I don't know, like smooth, I guess. It just feels right. And then what I love to see, and I think you mentioned that too, is like, sure, there's people who are using and utilizing the coaches that are here. We've got 2 mindset coaches. We have Lindsay, we have myself, we have Mike here. But then I get to see them use each other. And so much you'll start to see people, and like I was saying, like people who are kind of in similar spots start to link up with each other and start to use each other in that same way. And I think that, they can just move mountains during that time when they're receiving their coaching and then receiving peer, feedback from each other.
Yeah, I think that's a good point too. It's like, we're not just saying, hey, this is the only way to do it, is our group events, our thing we do. Like, you could easily do this too. I just want to say with business owners in your own town, like to bounce ideas off, like definitely do networking activities. I mean, I know there's BNI out there and different programs, but you can do this in your own town too and set up network opportunities and work with people one-on-one and bounce ideas off each other. Like, I guess that's the main thing I want to get, is the advantage of like being in person with someone as opposed to, post pandemic world, we can still like be in person, which is great. Yeah.
Yeah. And even in that scenario, like if I'm going to go bounce ideas off of someone, I'm going to want that person to be in a similar position to me. Like, for example, if someone is like a car dealership and I own a cleaning company, like there's going to be principles that can cross over.
Yeah.
But it's that what is fostered here in this community is like,
true,
they're all owners of cleaning companies.
True.
So when you ask that weird question that you really don't think, like this, where I'm stuck, it's so tailored, it's so niche to me, you'll be shocked that it's not. That when someone asks this really bizarre question, there's usually a couple people in the room who are like, me too, me too, me too. And then that fosters that conversation.
That is, that's a really good point. The other thing, I mean, the camaraderie, I can't say the word, camaraderie.
Huh?
Yeah. Learning to speak English here. No, that's huge too. I mean, just fostering the community of cleaning business owners. Like last night we went on a party bus, which was pretty funny. There were stripper poles involved. No one got on them though.
It was super disappointing.
Yeah. I mean, you almost did, but
when Bad Bunny came on, I almost lost it.
You almost lost it. Yeah, but just growing your community that way and the culture too. I think that's these events always enforce like the culture that Grow My Cleaning Company just has. Like, we're just really down to earth and we make our events just like we are in real life. Like, recording this podcast, I'm like, Jared, let's go to the bar, even though it's not open and Jared doesn't drink.
Yeah, and low key, I'm just watching the football game in the background. So.
Yeah, I did tilt it so you can actually,
Perfect.
I got you.
Hey, new friend, love that you were here. If you want more Cleaning Nation, more us, you can check us out on YouTube. Similar content, you just get to see each other. It's totally free. Or if you want to say, hey, hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, join our free Facebook group. We love hearing from you, Cleaning Nation. That's what makes it magic. Jump on, we'll see you there.
Yeah, I thought yesterday when I was on the party bus, there was one of our Next Level members was speaking to someone else, and they got talking about tax, something that was involved in a tax thing. And he said to her, he's from Idaho, and he's like, well, she's from California, so we all know the difference between California and Idaho tax. He said, hey, I don't know, that's not something I deal with, but I have a connection with another guy that owns a cleaning company, and I'm gonna hook you up, give you his number, and you can talk this kind of stuff. And so I saw him text that number over, and then throughout the night, she was texting back and forth with this guy, and I thought, that is such a valuable, because that's like, again, as business owners, there's just this big, I don't know stuff. I don't know everything. And I don't even know the questions I'm supposed to ask. And it is so nice to have someone be able to niche out or carve something like that to say, hey, this is super unique to you. I know that, but let's talk about it. And let me give you someone who can give you this reference. And I feel like at these events, that's truly what they get, because it's not, it's like what Lindsay's saying. It's not like we come here with this, oh my gosh, everything's changed and now this thing. It's more about like connecting.
Super real.
It's more about connecting ourselves with people who are in our spots, and it's so valuable. And then from there, and I'm even seeing this from the mindset work that people do, is there's that accountability. People start to say things out loud, what they want, what their goals are. I heard one of our clients say they want to, by the end of the year, they want 100 new residential clients.
Yes.
And like, I know their goal, and now Mike knows their goal, and Lindsay knows their goal, and everyone in that room knows their goal. And we all can pitch in to help them reach that goal that's there. And, I think most people, especially listening to this podcast, you have goals, but maybe your spouse knows the goals, maybe your business partner knows your goals. But if you fall short of that goal, or if you're not reaching that goal, who's in charge of making you get there? Like, sort of yourself. And sometimes we can kind of put it on the back burner when life gets heavy, or we go, well, maybe that goal was too hefty, or whatever it may be. But when you have this environment where people can say, hey, I hear your goal. This is a tangible goal that we can get. And now there's people checking in and saying, hey, what's up? Where are we at with this? How can we help you? How can we support you? Have you tried this? Have you tried that? Look, this owner of a cleaning company did this. This seemed to really work for them. Why don't you try that? And that's where real momentum can take place. So,
I think too, to hop onto that, piggyback onto that, is the other thing is we do these events consistently every 4 months. So people are setting goals, and it's in a specific increment too. It's what am I going to achieve by, June of this year? And saying that out loud, everyone in the room knows. We can keep talking about it on calls. We can enforce that even more. So there's like micro goals, and then there's bigger goals, and then there's like your life changing, like what am I doing all this for kind of goals. And we go over all of that together out loud. So good point.
I would almost say, I know that not everyone is in the world who owns a cleaning company is at this event. I would invite you. But if not, I think that what Lindsay was saying is right, in the sense of like, it's wise to connect with people who are in a similar position as you. And so for me, I do online marketing. And if I was to just have Mike and run Mike's marketing stuff, like that was everything that I did, I would only ever learn from Mike's money and from my own stuff. But I think the part that Mike sees me valuable is that I'm connected with, and some of it I pay for, to be connected with people who are better than me at what I do, or people that that spend money in areas that I don't spend money in. And I'm able to then, a great example, this is TikTok. So we've all seen that TikTok was this weird thing, and then it's like sticking. It's here to play. It's here to stay.
Yeah.
And so I don't have experience in TikTok, because this is something that's new into our world, but I was able to reach out to people who then laid it out for me. Hey, Jared, we tried this, this didn't work, this did work, this is what we're seeing going. And now I feel comfortable taking that to, in my case, to Mike, and saying, hey, Mike, I think this is the direction that we can go with what we're doing. You can have that as well in your own life. It's just a little bit harder to obtain, but it should be doable, and something that you strive for, is to have that sort of relationship where you can find that community. And so we invite you into ours, but if it's not ours, go out and find one.
Yeah, definitely find some. Let me ask you a question. If you had a community like this for your specific line of work with the marketing aspect, would you do it?
I do it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. No,
do you go to live events?
So at this point, a lot of it's virtual. So I attend virtual events of what I do. I haven't done like an in-person stuff because there's a lot of us. And so there's just gobs and gobs of people. So in fact, I intend, and this is true, Mike pays for my membership of these things.
Oh, good.
So that I can get better marketer for him. So I get trained and all this kind of stuff so that I can stay in front. Because there's principles I have. Like, I'm good at what I do. Mm-hmm. But if you put me in a cave and then took me out in 5 years, I would still have principles. I could still figure things out, but I wouldn't know what I was doing. And so that top layer of training helps me stay kind of, with the trends of what's happening.
On top of it, yeah.
And it in long term makes Mike money, because I'm able to do that. And so that's what, I think there's what our events do is, like, we go over the clean profit method. We teach you what has worked for all of our clients, and then scaling. And then you come to these events, and there's that layer of frosting that you get of, well, hey, this is where the market is now. Or, hey, this is something that's currently working really well. and you get that extra coaching that's there in that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna do a fun round to close this out.
Okay.
All right. What's your favorite thing about Las Vegas so far?
Geez.
Gotta change it up a little.
Yeah. Well, there's great food options here, and so I've been enjoying that a lot. And then we went to something nuts last night.
Yeah.
What was that? Area 15 is what it was.
Yeah,
called.
we went to Area 15. So if you're ever in Vegas
Yeah.
and want something, a really tactile, all the senses kind of experience, like an interactive art exhibit, go to Area 15. There's something called Omega Mart by this artist group called Meow Wolf, and we all went there together.
Yeah.
And
It was nuts.
it was crazy.
Yeah. It was nuts.
But yeah, as the client success manager, like doing these events, I always I've learned to, side note, get us into interactive kind of things,
Yeah.
so people can experience, it's all about experiences, so you can experience more stuff together. But
Yeah.
I love asking people what they like about Las Vegas. But yeah. So we're going to keep this one short, guys, because we got to get back to the event. But thanks, Jared, for hanging out with me
No
at
problem.
the bar and not drinking and watching
lots of
football.
fun. Yeah.
And we'll see you next time, Cleaning Nation. Bye-bye.
We'll see you guys.
Well, here we are, the end of the podcast, and you made it. Great job. I've got a little bonus for you for sticking through with me. But like I mentioned before, if you got value out of this podcast and you want to show a little love, subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Spotify, wherever the heck you're listening to this thing. Share it with a friend. Share the love. And as a special thank you for those of you that stuck with me to the end, how about I give you my personal phone number so we can text? It's a great way for me to get to know you, your business, your goals personally. So shoot me a text now, 602-932-6431, 602-932-6431. I am the only one who responds to these texts, and I will personally respond to everyone I possibly can as long as this number is manned. Don't know how long we're going to keep this at the end of the podcast, so grab it now, 602-932-6431. Give me a text, say hey, can't wait to meet you.